If you can hear me on the stream, please just confirm that, if anybody can. Just making sure everything's working. Good, good. Making sure everybody can hear me. Hello, everyone. I am very spooky. I am very spooky, EJ. And glad to see everyone on the stream. I'm gonna switch over. Look, it's a burb. So, welcome to this month's community meeting. We are also live on Twitch as well as being here in the voice chat. So if someone is unable to watch, or if you have to leave or miss part of the meeting, there will be a video available later up on our YouTube as well as the VOD, which usually stays up for about 2 weeks on Twitch. I will just reiterate that we will not answer community meeting related questions that are asked in the Twitch chat. If you have a question regarding the Twitch and you're asking on that chat, I will probably answer you, but we will only answer official meeting questions that are posted to the Discord meeting questions channel once that is opened. I don't know why my volume is low on Twitch, because I've tried adjusting it and I can't seem to make it go any higher. I am actually really confused by it. The reason for not answering questions in the Twitch chat itself is that I am already jumping between so many different tabs and chats and things, and it would be very hard for the note takers that we have to also keep up with the flow of both as well. Yes, Harley. Like, I already have my volume maxed on the Discord, not on the Discord, on the stream settings, so I can't really do anything more than that. I said if it was related to the community meeting questions. It's not a community meeting question. All right, so we're going to get started. Jin is trying to trap me. I know what his questions are like when he's trying to trap me. Give me a moment here. Maybe I can fix the audio. I don't know how, but maybe I can. There's no like, I can't find a sensitivity like thing
to a different location.
Hmm?
Can I move you to a different location?
What do you mean? You mean in the game?
Yes.
I wanted to be sitting staring at the fire. It's like a fireside chat. Why is there a polar bear? I don't even know why I'm asking. I suppose if you want to move me to a different spot.
Let me go find something.
I just didn't want to get attacked by phantoms during the meeting.
Yaya is finding a place.
Yes, the questions channel will be open as soon as we go through our beginning announcements and pre-submitted questions. Oops. Yeah, I don't see anything about like sensitivity or anything like that, and I already have my thing maxed, so I don't know if there's anything I can specifically do to up my volume, because I'm already talking pretty loud. Trust me, Jordy can attest to that. Stop nodding.
Wait, hit the back to game button.
Ah, okay. Nice. Very nice. And for anyone, I don't, sorry. Okay. That poor Strider, yes, he's freezing. So, welcome to the June community meeting. Thank you all for coming. As I said before, we are streaming this meeting on our Twitch, so people are able to listen even if they are not able to join the Discord. You also do not need to be in the Discord to submit a question. You just have to use the, well, I mean, you don't have to be in the Discord voice chat to submit a question. You do technically have to be in the Discord to submit a question. And the video will be posted sometime shortly after, available on our YouTube channel as well. So, we're going to get started. The first thing that we want to do is just some update / reiteration regarding things with the map merge. We are still aiming for the end of summer. It will definitely be this year for certain, but at the moment we are shooting for the end of summer. As we've previously mentioned, we are likely not to have an event. Obviously, we've since skipped basically what would usually be the start of midsummer. The next event that we have planned should be harvest. And I hear all of the farmers in the chat excited all at once. I'm with you. Okay, yeah. If we don't make it this year, Jin will eat a shoe. Well, I'm not going to volunteer myself because I'm not allowed to do much of anything. Alright, anyway.
What kind of shoe?
Oh, you know what? I know this person, or I know of this person who makes hyper-realistic cakes, and she has in fact made a cake of a shoe. What about a shoe cake? Can I eat a shoe cake? I'll eat a shoe cake.
Sure.
Yeah, alright. This is what happens. We get easily distracted very quickly. So, that is our next planned event, should be harvest, if everything continues to go according to plan. I'm not going to guarantee harvest, but that is what we're planning for the next event. Another reminder is that we did do a merge of some data on the servers to make certain things global, which is also in preparation for a map merge. This includes ranks, races, emotes, and titles, certain permissions and things like that. This may have caused some people to end up as more than one race at a time, so you might find yourself as squid and werewolf, as an example. Please ticket under the rank category and include which race you'd like to remain in your ticket. If you notice any other issues related to ranks, races, emotes, titles, please also ticket those as well. We don't foresee any issues, but just in case, if something has come up or you notice something strange or off, please never hesitate to ticket. And also, as a general reminder, once you have submitted a ticket, please remember to regularly check on your ticket with /ticket space status to see if you are required to give us an answer to something. A lot of times we ask people questions and they do not end up responding, which means we are unable to fix your issue or continue with the ticket until we get an answer. So if you could help us out once you've submitted a ticket, please remember to regularly check it to see if we need further information or if it's been dealt with. And as always, you can ticket for any other types of issues as well, not just problems, but please feel free to ticket. Do not ticket just to say hi to us. We love you too, but that is an abuse of the ticket system. So we have a few we have a few pre-submitted meeting questions, and once we're through all of that, we will get into your questions. So please bear with us. So, question. Are we going to have to start over from scratch with our towns, such as restart them on the new world with no residents / town bank / etc.? So, as we have previously discussed in a meeting, there were a number of plugins that were up for consideration or changing potentially and things of that nature. We have an answer about Townie, and that is that we will unfortunately be moving to a different land claim plugin for the future. So what this means, I don't want anybody to panic, what this means is Townie itself will no longer be functioning once the merge actually happens. So on the new map, we will not have Townie. We will have a land claim plugin system. We do have one planned out. We are also working on a guide for it, so that there will be a guide right at the start of all of this, so everyone will know what you can do, what commands will be different, and all of that. So we will have a guide ready to go so that there is an easily accessible source of information for you guys to be able to transfer the things that you can do. So we have certain ideas of how to deal with the quote-unquote transfer. It's not really transferring. We can't really transfer the data from Townie into this new system. And Townie itself was somewhat of a mess in general. But we do intend, at the bare minimum, there will be some sort of trying to think of the right word, a trade-in available to accommodate people who have bought plots and things like that from, or if you still have Townie plot deeds that you haven't used, things of that nature. We don't want to just completely say, oh, you're completely out of luck, you have to start over from absolute scratch, especially with plots and things like that. Thank you, Bird. I was trying to remember words. Words are not my friend today. I am sorry, guys. I'm gonna do my best, but my brain has not been functioning on all cylinders. Um, so we are planning to reimburse. Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. Reimburse bonus plots from which are usually comprised of e-store, townie plot deeds, and etc. So we won't be refunding from like the plots that you've bought in from like just slash t-buy or nation bonus plots. Unfortunately, this does mean that lots of towns who have inactive residents will likely be starting over smaller than they are now, and that's just an unfortunate nature of it. Um, we we really need to almost in a sense start fresh with the land claim and the town system. And I realize that it's a big change, but at the same time it's in my opinion still not a big change. We are still going to have ability to protect your builds and your land and have residents and have towns together. It's just under a new system instead of the one we're used to.
We have CMs working on a guide for the system too.
Yes, we do. So there will most definitely be a guide once we are ready to basically convert over to this system. So you will have a resource right there at your fingertips, available to everyone. So instead of like if I don't know what the commands are off the top of my head, but most people are aware of how to like start a town and how to buy plots or set them for sale or things like that. The equivalent commands will be in this guide so that you have the fast resource for it. Um, so I hope that y'all will continue to bear with us. It's just an unfortunate necessary thing is that there are plugins that are either outdated or don't function well or don't play nice with other plugins, and we need to fix those issues to make Vox way more stable and able to be maintained so that we can keep updating for the future.
And the new one is pretty cool looking.
The new one so far does seem to have a lot of neat options and a lot of equivalencies. So it is a completely new plugin, but I don't feel like it's a completely new system, if you understand what I mean by that. It doesn't function so drastically different that I don't think people could grasp it. But we need to have reliable systems that we can update and that function well with other plugins so that we're not cobbling together band-aid solutions that don't work in the long term. And a great portion of our plugins at the moment are outdated and held together with Jin's brow sweat and hope.
Ew.
I'm not wrong, though. All right. And yes, Erica does make a good point that it's stuff like that as well that is why we are at the moment aren't focusing on new content, because we're trying to get everything updated and functioning together and making it work. And in the long run, that does make it easier for us to then in the future push out more content and newer content, because we won't constantly be getting bogged down by something being bugged and not functioning correctly. Yes, the plot deed items, like if you have one of the like plot deeds that you haven't used, as an example, I have a bunch too. But yeah, the actual like plot deeds, if you haven't used them, we will have a trader or some system to trade them in to basically the equivalency for the new plugin as well. Okay, so the next question is I technically picked the two questions that were doozies first, so I could get them out of the way. So the next question, what is the future of current items with sockets, i.e. sentience and e-store items? Last meeting it was said that sockets might potentially be done away with and replaced with a new system due to the drain it takes to work on them. Does this mean that current items, especially e-store ones like sentience and armors that people have spent real money on and worked hard to make their own, be useless once it gets changed? And is it still worth even going through the trouble of leveling a new sentient with this news out? Okay, so we did say that last meeting that um, sentience was one of the plugins that was kind of up for debate and reevaluation. Sockets is the socket plugin. What manages sockets, what controls sockets, is unfortunately completely dependent on an absolutely broken custom plugin that we have no way reasonably of fixing or paying someone to fix. And I think you guys can tell where I'm going with this, but I will say it. And we know that sockets were just fixed, but the system itself that runs sockets, the plugins itself, is a custom cobbled together mess. And in the long run, we cannot maintain that. Like the system that runs it will not be functional on 1.18, and if we even had the money to pay someone to fix it, it would take months at bare minimum from what from how it's been explained to me. It would take a long time to even get it functional. If we could even afford to do it, and with the people that we have capable of working on it right now, it would take even exponentially longer at this point. we un- I'm trying to explain it. So what we intend to do at this point, we have different plugins that will do similar functions. We have a different system that's being worked on to do similar functions. So, and the GMs are working very hard on getting the new server ready right now. So we will have more details as things progress as well, because we have to make sure everything is going to function together as well. At this moment, sentience and other items that have sockets on them will remain functional until the new map merge has actually happened. So they will not function on the new server, except for their normal vanilla functions. So things with high fortune, high efficiency, unbreaking, and all of that, like vanilla enchants, will still work. The item will still be able to be used in a vanilla Minecraft fashion. We do intend to make replacements in the new system for some of the things, such as sentience. We haven't worked out exactly everything that will be able to be remade yet, but we do intend to remake what we can in the new system and allow people to trade in for the new version. Similarly to when things such as purple sockets in the past have been made unable to function, we have offered replacements in that case. So since the sentience and other potentially similar items will be non-functional for what they were intended, we will make replacements available to people. So if, as an example, Styx, the sentient pick, Styx gets a redone version, you would be able to trade in your Styx for the new version. It will probably be manually via tickets, because anything that ends up like soulbound, you can't make a trader for, or we have to make a trader for each individual person, which doesn't really work. But the new system won't be exactly the same, but it will have some sort of custom abilities potentially. Again, as I said, we haven't worked out exactly all their details, so it's because the GMs are still working on it. But as we have more information for that available, we will definitely share it. And I want everyone to just, I understand the change is going to be real difficult to deal with, and I understand that a lot of people have put in a lot of effort, a lot of time, and in some cases, a lot of money on them. But we cannot maintain the current socket system as it is. It is just not possible if we want to move to 1.18. If we want to continue to be able to move forward with new content and all of that. And you totally are allowed to feel upset about it if you want, and I absolutely urge anyone, if you have questions, if you even just want to talk it out, you absolutely totally can. You can always contact a staff member about things. We are doing our best to maintain the uniqueness that makes Vox Vox while still reasonably being able to move forward. It's a very delicate balancing act, as I have been continually saying. I just have this picture in my head of juggling, like just give me some little hacky sacks, sockets, townie, my sanity, though that one gets lost in the ether. um, Nations is dependent, like the current nations thing is tied into townie. I am not 100% sure if the new plugin has a nation function.
It
Oh,
has
Jin
a
just answered
feature.
that.
We
Jin just
talked
answered
about
that.
that.
Okay, we yeah, we talked for like 2 hours about everything we were going to talk about. I have forgotten some of it. Okay, so Jin did just answer this question in chat. So there is a feature for nations in the new plugin. So they will have to be remade, but they are able to be remade. And but yeah, the overall goal is and always will be to maintain the vision that we knew Zombie had for the future of the server. I There's no way for us to know, unfortunately, what he may have specifically done to deal with some of these problems with the plugins, but a lot of them weren't able to be made compatible to 1.18. It's just like not possible. So this would have been a problem that he would have had to deal with as well. There's no way of us to know exactly what he would have done about it. So we're doing our best with the information that we have, and our best with the information that we have, as well as our best knowing what his overall plan for the future of Vox was. And yes, absolutely, if you're upset, it's okay to be upset, and if you want to be mad at someone, that's okay too. Like, i'm not gonna I'm not gonna take it personally unless you are incredibly rude in my inbox, but I'm not gonna take it personally if you're mad about the changes, because change kind of sucks. Like, we all know inevitably in life change happens and you just kind of have to move on and deal with it. But it still sucks, and it's okay to feel upset. Your feelings are always, like, valid. Like, you can feel what you feel. No one else is allowed to tell you that you can't feel a certain way. They might not agree with how you feel, but you still have that right to feel how you feel. And we do get that it's a lot of change. As for town banks, we do have a couple of ideas on how to. Okay, Jin's just gonna tell it all. Okay, it's fine. So we are planning to allow the mayor to withdraw the town funds so that they can remake their town in the new version, in the new plugin, once the merge starts. So you will be able to get your town bank back. Because we realize that there are people who just like dump like a couple of 100,000 gold in the town bank to make sure it doesn't fall, and we don't want you guys to be just like completely out of the money if there's a way for us to fix that. So that's what our intention is as well, but that will be once the map merge has actually started. There's just a lot of unfortunate changes that are needed to happen. This is not even a we just want to change certain things. There are going to be some things that people just that we either can change because it works better or things like that, but some of these changes are needed because we cannot maintain the very outdated, outgraded systems. I don't even know if that made any sense to me. I'm starting to babble, so I'm going to move on to the next question. Just have a couple more and then we'll open the meeting questions, and you can ask any clarifying questions that you have as well, even if it's topics we've gone over. So, question. Will there be more items/jobs added to the server at some point? So, there are plans for a job expansion with items in the future. However, this will obviously be after the new map and the merge happen. As we've said before, for the most part, new content is on hold. And this will definitely, like, all of their subjects are going to get talked about again and again. But I'm fully like excited eventually when we get to the job expansion, because I think that'll be really. I think I have no idea what we're even doing, but I know we want to expand it, and I'm excited because I like jobs. Just, not in real life, but that's a different matter. So, the next question was, don't know if this has been asked, but what are your plans for the abandoned builds/claims? As a note, if you're ever not sure if a question has been answered, you can check the past meeting notes. We do upload the community meeting notes to a public drive that you guys can access. But if you ask a question that we've answered before, we're used to that. It's okay. Just to cover that part of it. But so plans for the abandoned builds and claims, unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, really, abandoned claims on the current map are going to stay on the map. Whatever you are unable to claim from your own town, or the situations we've set up that are allowed, so you are allowed to make land claims for inactive residents or for the purposes of expanding your town borders, so like builds that are too close to your town or preventing you from moving in a direction, etc. Those are allowed, but anything else, so just random land claims in the middle of nowhere, those aren't allowed anymore. So those things will be staying on the map. We are not going to be allowing like looting or anything of the sort before transitioning to the new map. I will say that it was it was brought up and discussed. But we knew lots of people would have that question. Um, but yeah, we will not be allowing any sort of looting or anything like that from the old map. The old map will remain as it is. If you don't move certain builds or items or things over, whether it's because you choose to or just you don't want to take things with you, they will remain on the old map, which will eventually be closed down once the merge is completed. All right. Next. Okay, we only have 2 more questions. We can open the meeting questions channel after that. So, question. Is there going to be a place or page where everyone can post/advertise their towns or shops? I feel like this would give everyone equal attention instead of just known towns and shops. So, there is a similar question, not question, but there's a similar thing that I can use to answer this for. So on the new map, we intend to have an area where you can sell things via a custom villager that you can essentially rent. So you'd be able to put items into this villager and sell them. You could use it to advertise your shop, like you could, sell paper with come to /t wherever. In this custom shop, it is intended to be fee based. So like if you do not pay, however, we haven't worked out the details of how expensive it will be. I feel like we're gonna want to make it decently accessible for people though, but we're not sure exactly of all of the fee details and things like that. But it'd basically be a space where you can rent, like, say, monthly, and you'd be able to sell either items or you can advertise to come to your actual town if you've built like a whole shop. So so we do have kind of the intention to have something of an advertising slash general shop space where you can kind of have lots of traffic, hopefully, come through and be able to buy things. As a kind of a side note, though, if you're ever wanting to advertise, say, your town's shop, if it's like, as an example, I have a shop that is currently closed, but I have it at my town spawn. You are allowed to use the trading channel to post where you can come for your shop. Please don't spam it, but you can use that as an advertising space, because Vox trading is for trading items with people or selling things to people. So that is perfectly an appropriate place to do that. So the last question is a bit long, but I'll read it. So the question is, what are our thoughts on the chat reporting system coming in 1.19? Last week, Microsoft decided to add the ability to report players directly to them, essentially bypassing any moderation systems an individual server had already set in place, as the server staff would never receive the report. If someone is banned via this method, they would be banned from online multiplayer in its entirety, potentially permanently. Many people are concerned that in the wrong hands, the report system could and will likely be abused, and depending on how well Mojang handles the system, may lock out people who are simply playing the game. This is especially concerning for servers whose chat rules are more lax than what Minecraft may deem how strict these rules would be. So, unfortunately, I can't really give a good answer to this, simply because we have no control over what Mojang does for servers. We don't have any control over it. So we're more than likely sort of just in a wait and see pattern regarding how they handle it. Now, there has also been a lot of outrage about it online. So there is the potential that Mojang may change either their minds on it or on how it goes about being handled. Um, I feel like I do believe that it's likely they may make it toggleable for certain servers. Like maybe if your server doesn't have moderators or doesn't want to deal with it, they can turn it on. And we just don't have enough information to really know how Mojang itself is planning to handle this. So for us, for Vox, it's going to be kind of a wait and see sort of feature. I feel like if it ends up being toggleable, it is something we would probably just not deal with because there is the potential, unfortunately, for abuse. There is also the potential that because we just don't know how Mojang's going to handle it, they could just ban first and deal with appeals. I mean, I've seen that system in some online games before, and that sucks. We just don't know enough about how they're going to do it for us to be able to give an answer on this as of yet. And it is a concern of mine as well because I do fully believe that there are people out there who would abuse it to their either advantage or just to anger someone. Unfortunately, we just don't have any control over it. Is the pure and simple answer. So we're gonna have to see what happens. I also realize I'm saying Mojang when it's technically Microsoft, but they're also owned by Microsoft now, so it's kind of same diff. The Minecraft, the current, the owners of Minecraft are going to do what they're going to do. So all right. So that was the end of our pre-submitted questions. The questions channel is now open. Please feel free to ask any questions that you have in the meeting questions channel. And they can be about any subject relating to Vox or its community. But as a general reminder, we do not discuss specific disciplinary actions in general. If you ever have any questions about specifically disciplinary type of actions, you can always message a disciplinary staff member. So that would be the mods and the admins. Oh, the most terrifying thing in the world's existence. Several people are typing. Okay, give me 30 seconds. I have no ice left in my drink. And we all want me to be properly hydrated. All right, I'm back. I knew the two big questions were going to lead to a lot of talking, so. Okay, wow. The questions exploded. All right. Just a general reminder too. Please, no one react. I don't think you have perms anymore to react to them, but please don't react to any of the questions, as that's how we keep track of what we've answered.
I'm gonna react.
I mean, you're allowed to, Burb. Okay. Question. Can we get the item crate drops updated, please? Details. Asked last month, and I think it was in progress. Just checking it's still happening. So we've, you mean the item crates from the Vox boxes. So I know that that is, I think Dust was supposed to be working on it, and we definitely still intend to get that updated. We should make a real, we should make a really big, bold note to get it done. But yes, it's still in progress. It's still gonna happen. Honestly, I'm okay if I know our usual thing has been like the previous 3 months, but I'd be okay if we had a little bit more from the last couple of Vox boxes just to make sure that everybody has a chance to get some of them. It's fine. So yeah, we will definitely be getting to that. Okay. So yes, in progress. So there's so many. I'm glad that you all have questions. um, yes. So, question. I'm a builder primarily. Will we do more activities, events, or plugins geared toward building? Um, hmm. That is a really good question. I know that we mentioned a little bit ago that we do plan to do a kind of job expansion of some sort in the future. I feel like that would lend itself quite well to expanding, especially some of the jobs that don't really have a lot to do. So I'd love to see us be able to add more things for some of the jobs to do, especially builder. Um, we don't have any concrete plans that I could tell you about at this moment, but I would love to see us be able to do something at some point. Stop filling my inventory with bread.
Same.
I hope you all are enjoying the chaos on the stream. Sorry. I just could hear the sound of my inventory being filled up. All right, so we don't have any concrete plans, but I would love to be able to have more things for different jobs to do, especially builders, because I know that you don't really get a lot to do. All right. All right. How different in size will the revised Valeria beach be, and will more of it be decorated for events? Um,
A lot.
we we have shown off teasers and stuff, and we've said, we've told everybody that there is a new VB. We are actually sitting in a portion of it right now on the stream. The new VB is huge. Okay? So huge. It is huge, okay? And I love it. Our architects have done an absolutely fantastic, fabulous job, and I am just in awe of them. Like, for real.
Oh my god, for real?
Like, oh my god.
So
Now, Jordy, stop
And
making me do this. Okay.
past,
But
past and present
um,
architects.
past and present architects, yes, because this has been in progress for a long time, and it is absolutely stunning, in my opinion. Um, it makes me feel like I should just build a dirt shack when we move because I can't compare. So it's great, it's fabulous, and I do believe that we intend to have it decorated for events. Not 100% sure on all of the details of that, but if we do, it will, because Valeria Beach itself is larger, it will likely be somewhat larger if we do decorations. Um, Probably would depend on the event itself, though. Okay, next question. Any updates yet on how job and or MCMMO data will transfer over with the map merge, particularly with people who play on more than one server and have different jobs on each? This is something that we are still sorting out. So unfortunately, I do not have a concrete answer for you at this time. We have several different ideas of how we could do it, but in all reality, if someone has like 5 jobs on all 3 servers, they probably will not be able to keep all 15 jobs. um, but we're not 100% sure of all of the details yet. So I'm not going to give you half answers that are likely to change either. And yeah, it sucks that I don't have a concrete answer for you, but unfortunately, that's just where we are at the moment. That is, however, jobs and MCMMO are things that I know lots of people are concerned about and lots of people want to know what's going on. So once we do have answers, we will definitely tell people what we intend to do regarding it. Okay. Question. Mob spawners? I love, if I didn't read the details, I'd love that question, like, even more. It's just funny to me. Okay. Considering it seems like people might, like, things, yeah, people, like, considering it things like, considering it seems like things might be more difficult in order to earn EXP for a lot of things when you need it badly, could there be use of mob spawners? Can, after all, easily make an on-off switch to them to make them not spawn out of control, or why not make like public mob spawners at spawn so people who need to mend stuff or need EXP badly can go there and farm? At this particular moment in time, we have not discussed the possibility of changing our rules regarding mob spawners. I'm not saying that it's not something we can't put up for discussion, but at the moment we have no current plans to change our rules regarding it. What I will say is I will remind everyone, or if you haven't been to meeting, I think it was the last meeting, we did mention that we intend to have a resource world available, which would likely make grinding for certain things a lot easier, as the resource world itself will be more frequently reset than the actual map. So there will likely be that for the ability to farm XP and ores and mobs and other things. But that's the best kind of answer I can give at the moment. We have not discussed changing our stance on mob spawners, but I won't completely rule it out. Okay, next question.
A new spoiler photo is in the voice text channel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous. I love it. And I don't love it just because I'm in it, I promise. Okay, so question. Are we going to have new town ranks with the new townie plugin? Details such as VIP, helper, sheriff, assistant. I am not positive, but I know that there should be something similar to mayor and assistant at the bare minimum. I'm not sure of what else all might be available. but there should be some degree of ranks, I believe, in them. I'm just not sure what they all will end up being, because they may not be 100% similar to what we have in Townie. So they may change names and functions, etc. I can say right now, I'm pretty sure there's no co-mayor, which I'm very disappointed about, because I share a town. But anyway, okay, so the next question: what will happen to townie related buildings? For example, I have buildings I have lost from my town going down but never received them back, event related and non-event ones. Okay, so regarding the advanced townie structures, which is that particular plugin that controlled townie builds, such as quarries, event things like the I think it's called like the Lunar Pagoda and other schematics and things like that. The advanced townie structures plugin is dead. There is at this time no intention to bring it back. We said this in the last meeting, I believe, as well. It would have to be reworked from the ground up. Also, they were tied to the town, so if your town fell, you just unfortunately lost them most of the time anyway. But yeah, the plugin itself is dead. It was a completely custom plugin that tied in with Townie, and it has just unfortunately would require far more time and effort to even bring it back to a state of working than it would. I think someone said that it would probably take more work to get that working than the entire new server, if I remember correctly.
Probably.
Which, as a note, I do in fact understand the struggle about that, because I absolutely loved my quarry. But unfortunately, it is what it is. So yeah, unfortunately that one's dead. And that sort of goes along with the next question, which was, are we going to get new townie buildings? So the answer to that is, at this time, no. Question: will the townie commands be similar? Details such as claiming plots or changing plot perms. I believe they are somewhat similar, but as I did mention a little bit earlier in the meeting, I'll keep reiterating it, I don't mind. We do intend to have a guide ready to go when we start moving to the map, so that everyone will have a resource to be able to refer to, so that there is no question of what to do with certain commands, or like, oh, how do I start a new town? Like, we want the commands like right there so you guys know how to do it. I think we'd probably also have help files built from the guide as well, so there should be the ability for you to easily access the commands that you need to know to create your towns, to change plot perms, to claim things, once we're ready to actually have people moving to the map. Okay. I'm not going to read Apox's question, because you were clearly fishing for a compliment. And yes, the cave is cool, and you can definitely have a pay raise. You can have a 2% pay raise on what you already make.
0 times 2.
It's still 0. Although honestly, if you ever want me to give you a compliment, just ask me what I think of something. I usually am just blown away by what you guys build, for the most part. All right. Is it possible for players to suggest / create new recipes for job-related shops and crafts? So, not entirely sure what all may adjust based on some of our changes with like sockets and townie and things like that. Um, However, any suggestions that you want to make, you can absolutely make. We love seeing new suggestions for Voxbox things, toys, recipes, I love seeing any new suggestion you guys can come up with. And just because if we don't use your suggestion doesn't mean it wasn't a good suggestion, just means we either don't have a use for it yet or we can't physically do it. But like, we love to see absolutely everything you guys can suggest. So please absolutely feel free to suggest it to the Reddit. The more details, the more information that you can give us on a particular suggestion, the more likely it is we might be able to do something with it. But like, that doesn't mean like if you just suggest do a mythology themed Voxbox. Like, I still want to do a mythology themed Voxbox, but it's a lot of work. But any suggestions you have, please go to the Reddit. And as I believe I mentioned last meeting, I had been exploring options to bring some sort of suggestions thing into the Discord, but unfortunately the bot that I was looking at decided they were going. I was basically almost pretty much ready to start testing it with actually like testing it in this Discord, and it decided that it's going to go offline. So I have to find new things that might work. But for right now, the Reddit is absolutely the best and easiest way for us to see your suggestions, and we do in fact look at each and every one of them. Every time it comes time for us to like be making stuff for like new Vox boxes, for example, I keep looking. I literally keep looking through them. I would love some more mythology Vox boxes because I love mythology, but very specific themed cards also take longer sometimes. So like, sometimes we have to balance it. Like a Norse mythology box would be very, very specific. So it would take a lot of work for us to like put everything together. Not that we can't do it and not that we won't do it in the future, but it's there is a certain amount of extra work that goes into something with such a very specific theme. So it just takes some time mostly. All right. How do you pronounce Vox Populi? Because I've been saying it Vox Pulpi, and now realized I think I've been saying it wrong. So Vox Populi is Latin for voice of the people. So it is pronounced Vox Populi. Like, I don't know how to like chunk it out more than that, but like pop, uli, and Vox. It's a lot of the time we just refer to it as Vox because it's easier. But yeah, the official name is Vox Populi, and there are too many things called Vox Popular, by the way, if you just Google it, because ancient Latin is pretty popular for naming things sometimes. All right. The obligatory archaeology question. Are we keeping archaeology stuff like fossils, artifact, blueprints, etc.? Um, so, I don't think we have any intention at this time of getting rid of archaeology. The system may function different, um, depending on what else changes. With regards to what we were saying about sockets changing, I did say sentience would likely have replacements made, like new versions made. That will probably also include like relics and things like that, but we are not 100% sure what will be done in what order or anything like that. So archaeology may change a bit, but I don't believe we have any intention of getting rid of it at the moment. But it will depend on what is able to function with some of the newer systems. Okay, next question. Will there be a mini event for map merge? Details similar to Invasion Day, but not as huge. So, I'm not going to say that it's out of the question, uh, but at this moment in time, we don't have any details to tell you if there will or won't be any sort of event to go along with the map move. The map move in and of itself is going to be kind of a massive, it's just in general a bit of a massive undertaking. So whether or not we're able to get together even a mini event for it is just going to sort of be a matter of what we're able to come up with and do. So I can't say we won't, I can't say we will at this point in time. There's just unfortunately, I have no definitive answer for you about that. But I can feel Yaya over there going lore. So, question: will we be getting a new Nether? Uh, Details. Nation Scorned has taken over and remodeled a Nether fortress and turned into a dragon end portal location for the nation. Should we start demolishing a Nether also? Okay, I'm assuming that's a name of your nation. So, the new map is a new map entirely, which does mean a new Nether. We won't be like,
Everything is gonna be new
yeah,
in
it's not like we're
regards to the
saving
map.
the Nether map and like attaching it to the new one. It will be a new overworld, a new Nether, etc. So, um, so if you would like to still have like your same build, you probably would want to start uh, either demolishing it or preparing to move it or recreate it, I would say. And I'm gonna just read it because Jin said it. So in the text, Jin said that New Nether is coming with some fun new features, but we do not have details to release on those new features yet.
Just be afraid.
Okay. Question. Not sure if it's been answered. It just popped into my head. Okay. Question. When we move maps, will our XP bar stay as it is, or will we start again with 0 EXP? I'm slow at getting EXP and not efficient. I think it starts you over, but we have this fun system called Soul Emeralds, or it is possible. We should. I'm pretty sure it's going to be possible to have these. I don't know. Is it going to be possible for people to move EXP, Jen? I'm not actually sure. Will
We
trade
might
will work? Okay, we'll have if trade. He says he's saying trade should be open, so you would be able to use. I use soul emeralds. I don't know what everyone else's problem is with it. But I never let my EXP get higher than like 30. But
Mine's like higher
see,
than 1,000.
here's the thing. I could use the soul emeralds before like if they're not functional at merge, I could also just use them on the old server and just trade my EXP where they work, you know? um we'll find out. That's probably something that we would likely want to announce to everyone, whether or not once we know if they're functional or not, so that you would have the option of being able to move your EXP over via other means. So we can definitely try to make sure that we get that information for people too. Wow, you guys. Okay, This is not at all a stop asking question. I'm just impressed at the amount of questions. I'm so happy that you guys have questions, because otherwise these meetings feel like I should have just stayed in bed. So, yeah, that question's done. I love the questions. I'm just like, every time I look, there's a new question. Okay, so question. Will the old maps be available for download so people can mess around on single players? So many places I want to burn. I applaud your inner pyromaniac just a little bit. As long as you don't burn anyone's actual stuff. Unfortunately, we actually had run into the problem that the map is just physically too big to do that with. We ran into that problem with the Paradise map when we had that map open for a while, and it was significantly smaller, I think, in the end than Vox's maps themselves. And Zombie could not find a reasonable way to release it. It was too big to be reasonable and available for download. So unfortunately, that is not something we'd be able to do. As much as I know many people would love it, and as much as I would love to be able to do it, it's just not something we physically can do for people, unfortunately. You could always go around and like Lightmatica up some stuff and put them in single player and burn them that way, but unfortunately the whole map download itself is just not something we can functionally do. In the resource world, will there... Sorry, got distracted by a gas noise. In the resource world,
Someone's trying
will
to
there
kill
be
me.
opportunities to obtain gold ore and other expensive ores? If so, would there be added opportunities to gain voxels via mining ores by upping the money limit or trading in ores by export? Okay, so there's actually already some, not ores that you can trade in, but some materials you can trade in at export, like lapis and redstone and iron in block form. So technically you can already trade some of them in at export. As for the resource world, it is intended to be able to be used to mine in, as well as there may be some other things to it that we will not speak of yet. So it will be like vanilla based spawn rates. We won't be editing ore rates as they have occasionally been in the past. But you will be able to mine things in the resource world. You will be able to mine normal ores. There wouldn't really be a point to a resource world if you weren't able to mine resources. So yes, you will be able to find ores such as gold, iron, diamonds, etc. in the resource world. The resource world is not like the only place you'll be able to mine. You'll still be able to mine in the overworld, but the overworld won't, much like we have in the past, like the overworld is not a world that we constantly like restart or anything like that. The resource world is likely to be like redone every occasionally, on and off. Not on and off. I can't words. The resource world is going to be reset periodically. Those are the words I was looking for. Reset periodically. So it won't affect like your normal main overworld like builds and things like that, but there will be the continued opportunity to be able to mine ores and mine resources from the resource world, even if someone goes through and digs out like 10,000 blocks. Eventually that will get reset again, and so someone else will be able to get more blocks, things like that. Okay. oh, this is gonna be Jin's favorite question. Question: will we be getting new pets? Details: axolotls, glow squid, flower cows, etc. So, this is one of those things that does fall under like new content for the moment. I won't say that it's out of the question, because I'm sure everyone's gonna want new pets for the new mobs and things like that. But it is, if it, I honestly think it's more of a when, but it'll probably be a when that's at least a bit after map change, as we have to make sure everything for the map merge is stable and working before we start adding new things to it. But I think it's definitely a possibility. I'm sure there's plenty of people that want little baby axolotls.
Well, Jim said already planned, so after the map
Okay,
change.
see, every time we mention pets, he complains about them. But I fully support that we need a baby axolotl called an axolotl. Okay. I need an axolotl. I want a baby bee pet, but I don't know if that's actually possible to do. But baby bees are the cutest things in the game, okay? You cannot
so
change my mind. You cannot change my mind. They're so tiny. If you're about to tell me that you know the perfect pet and it's a dragon pet, I don't need a dragon axolotl. I have Jean and Terabus already. And Jin is the masterful architect behind those two pets, and I love him for it. I don't own Cupid. I want Cupid. I don't own it. I didn't have any money in February, or, ever. Alright. Next question. Post map change, will we be getting a new sentient? I had a thought of having a sentient that drops from an in-game activity, like, say, the elemental dragons and stuff. I would say that as far as I know, there are no definite plans, but once we have the new system worked out, I'm sure that we will be coming up with new items and that sort of thing too. So it's probably more of a matter of when. Okay, question. What about summonable bees to help? Okay, I love all the new content questions, and suddenly I want a swarm of bees at my command. But we're more likely to get a swarm of bats because Jin knows I don't like them. Okay, but what about summonable bees to help and fight? It's similar to how you can summon wolves, could be specific to a race or witch to summon. So, Uh, it. I don't think it's. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think we have uh any specific plans for that, but you've got Yaya's interest, so she sorry, I keep misgendering everyone today. I apologize so bad.
They.
They they are very pushy is the wrong word. Yaya is very good at not forgetting the things that they want to see happen, so I imagine that we will be getting reminded of that repeatedly. And I think it sounds cool to have a B class. I don't know what you would do. Maybe if it was something like with different animals or something, like a druid or something like that. But I could see it happening eventually, maybe, but it'd definitely be in the future. Question: are new creatables coming? Stone bricks, stairs, planks, dyes, etc. So yes, new crates will be coming at some point. Not entirely sure when, but I personally have already gone and added some new crates for things that will be they're not, active for the server yet, but they will be like in the next update for it, and that includes stone bricks, bedrock, and planks. I did those specifically, and I am not completely done adding things either. So yes, we will definitely have more crate stuff. I'm tired of having nowhere to put my bricks and my stone bricks. I have literally just on diamond, and I main emerald. Just on diamond, I have like six double chests of stone bricks, and I haven't even took anything down yet. That's just what I found in 2 different storages. So yeah, we definitely are going to add more things to crates. I'm interested in also possibly adding dyes and flowers as well. There's a few other things that I've added. I think I put purpur and endstone in there, as well as sponge and some other things. I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to regret this, but if you have any suggestions for new things that you would like to see crateable, especially if they're blocks, because I'm not creating everything from, I'm not creating every single last item in the game. It has to be something people would reasonably have a lot of, okay? But if you have any suggestions for things that you think should be added to crates, you may message me them. Please wait until after the meeting. And Erica, there may already be a surprise for you, okay? I got tired of people asking me for them, so I just made them. Alright. At some point, will there be an expanse on Mage Tower with more magic types? For example, a nature mage able to summon animals and plants to fight with them or for them. One second. So this is actually a very nice question to lead into something. So alongside some of the other things that are being adjusted, we are actually working on a rework of the classes for the merge. Now, I will say that there are going to be just a specific certain number of classes available right at the start, with expansions coming later. So I don't want everyone to like freak out if it's like, oh, I don't know what to do, or where's this class, or anything like that. So but there is going to be a rework of the classes. So possibly, uh, and also at the same time, yes, in the future there will definitely be an expansion on the class system. Um, yes, this will likely mean that people are going to have to start over, but we have kind of some really interesting things planned, which I think people are going to absolutely enjoy. to the point where a lot of you might know that I'm not very much into like PvP or PvE and stuff like that, and I'm actually kind of excited to play with the new stuff once we have it ready. So I think a lot of people are going to end up enjoying the changes. So, next question. When the new map comes, will Cavern and Raid Boss make a comeback? I think we would like to make them utilized again. They are planned to come back. The when is sort of not 100% certain. I'm not sure. Jin just said it. We're not sure quite yet if they're going to be 100% ready when merge actually happens, but they are intended to come back. Obviously, since we are reworking classes and sockets and things, there may be some changes to some of them, but we're not 100% certain of that at this moment. But yes, we do intend to have them back. Whether they're back in time for the actual merge is kind of up for debate at the moment. Okay, so I'm very excited about Navy's next question. I'll tell you why in a second. So, question. Is there going to be a glass breaking tool soon? Details. Have put off tearing down Kane's town spawn because was wanting to salvage the glass. Also have been leaving behind glass roofs everywhere that could have been salvaged. So, we have an exciting thing. So after the meeting, we will be dropping a trader in downtown. Or they might already be there because... Okay, thank you, Jen. So, if you guys go down towards the fountain on any of the servers, there's a trader there with a special glass breaking tool. So, surprise! We wanted to make one, and we definitely wanted people to have it in time for moving.
It's cheap.
It's I would say reasonably cheap. It's not like you could just go there and buy it when you just join the server. But, it's more expensive than I personally thought it should be, but at the same time, it's not nearly as like the custom elytras are more, you know. So, it's pretty reasonable, I would say. So it will pick up. It just silk touches glass. It only works on glass at the moment, so it does it only works. Yeah, not at the moment. It only works on glass, so it doesn't, you know, work on glowstone or sea lanterns and stuff. But for glass, it's very useful. It's basically the power pick on obsidian, or not obsidian. Well, actually, it does work on like that on obsidian. It's the power pick, but for glass. Which I think will make it a lot easier for people who either are or have vampire sun shields. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm very excited about it. So, next question. Will netherite get a use in terms of items, or will it be something like a premium currency for rare items? Basically what the question said. I haven't seen any gear/item that uses netherite because all of our current items serve the purposes just fine as is. I don't imagine we would not end up with netherite stuff at some point, but it's like it. Okay, Jin keeps answering my questions while I'm like half in the I don't know question. So Jin said netherite is on the list to be utilized. like I was saying, I can't imagine why we wouldn't end up using it. It's more just a lot of our stuff when Netherite came out, a lot of our stuff was based on basically like Diamond being the highest tier, and because Vox had a lot of custom stuff, it made balancing it a lot trickier. Um, so definitely we want to like use Netherite for things, for certain things. I'm not sure what all it will apply to, but yes, we do intend to have it be utilized. Question. Got anything willing to leak to the community while on stream? LOL. A quick fly through of an area, perhaps. Well, I'm sitting in a cave. This is downtown in Spawn. My inventory is full of bread. And there is a bee sitting in front of me. Why did I... There... Oh, I lost connection. That's great.
I think we crashed.
So no, I'm not gonna be okay, hold on. I'm just gonna, that's great. Nah, it's okay. We'll get that back in a second. So while there isn't necessarily anything we want to release at the moment regarding the actual environment of New VB, we have been showing off a lot of pictures of certain things on the servers, or how some of the biomes are intended to look as well. I know we did that. We have shown off some pictures of things from the server, or from the future VB of the new server. But there is something that I could take this opportunity to tell you guys. We do have a name for the new map, for the new server. Obviously, our current servers are named Diamond, Emerald, and Gold. And we wanted to not... We wanted to... We know that Zombie, when he wanted to like merge them together, was going to come up with a singular name, because it didn't... I know personally, like, it didn't feel right to either make it Diamond, but then or Emerald or Gold only, and leave the other ones, as it wouldn't feel right to do just one of the names and not all of them. So we kind of came up with a name that we thought was fitting, and I personally like a lot. The new map is going to be called Vox Populi Netherite. For me, personally, I like the name because it kind of feels like the next step. In Minecraft, Netherite is like the next step after like Diamond. Amethyst, we did think of a lot of different options. We ended up on Netherite. Like, this wasn't just the only thing we thought of. Like, there were a lot of different suggestions. Amethyst, kind of thought it might be hard for some people to spell, to be honest. Amethyst is pretty. Like, that was probably like top 2 pick, I think. But Netherite felt kind of right as like the next progression after like diamond gear and or gold and diamond and things like that. But also, to me personally, and this is just me personally, I kind of liked the fact that Netherite in the game is sort of a very resistant material, and it's found in the Nether, and it gives sort of, to me, a forged in the fire kind of feel. And these last couple of months have been really tough for everyone, and I feel like it's kind of forged us through fire into something stronger than we had been before. So to me it fits quite a lot. And being completely honest, being just completely honest, once we go down to just the one server, most people are likely just going to end up calling it Vox anyway. But it felt right to me personally, and hopefully you guys like it as well. But it unfortunately, if you don't, it's netherite. I'm sorry.
It's still Vox, but it's netherite.
We have transformed. Okay, who built a box? You guys are destroying the architect's work here.
Or was it the architect?
I mean, that's fair. It could in fact have been the architect. Who's actually carrying one of the blocks at the moment. I'm gonna just sit over here where it's not being destroyed. Because I'm trying to have a meeting here. I did transition to the right screen on the stream. It might have just taken a minute. Yeah. All right. We still have a bunch of questions to get through, and I have D&D tonight, so let's rock it. So, question: are dungeons being transferred to the new server? Details: any new ways to get to them from the new BB? So, yes, dungeons will be transferred over. There. So there definitely is a way to get to them from New VB. I'm not gonna be showing that off at this moment though. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I think you guys will love it. I only don't love one part of it, and that's because of a personal thing, not because they didn't do good work. The architects did beautiful work, but I don't like spiders or clowns.
Max built.
Let me just put it that way. And we have 2 dungeons that are about what? I didn't say the area wasn't great. Apox. Alrighty. Next question. I'm going to slightly edit it because of language. Will we be rid of the cavemen? I hate them so much. Worst custom mobs ever. And the Cyclopses too. Hate them. I don't think at this point in time we're gonna be getting rid of the custom mobs like in general. There may be some changes or updates to things, as we did mention we're reworking classes as well as the sockets, so things are likely going to change. There may even be more in the future or different ones in the future. Not really sure how to explain it, but I mean, I also hate the caveman, but there's this really the only way I can recommend that you can like deal with them is just do /home and go away till they despawn. um I do think that sometimes they seem to spawn. Sometimes they seem like they just don't spawn for ages, and then sometimes they seem to spawn like 2 or 3 on me at a single time, which I get annoyed with. So I do feel your pain on that. Um, but yeah, it's possible that they may be adjusted, but they're probably not going entirely away, unfortunately. Okay. Question. Is the fishing competition meant to finish when it currently does? Details. It currently ends at 1 a.m. UK time on Monday morning. I'm sure it used to end much later so USA time zones could get a few on Sunday evening. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not because UK time is like, what, like 6 hours ahead of EST, so that would mean it would end at like math. Ugh. Um, it does run on. It should be running on GMT, but that would be even further apart. So, I mean,
It's on
UTC.
UTC.
Sorry, I can't time zone. Um. Okay, so Jin is saying that that's broken at the moment. So the answer to your question would appear to be no, that's not entirely intentional. You are correct that it should be running later so that the equivalent of like the USA would get some on Sunday evening. So that is something we will have to look at. Question. If all sockets become disabled as soon as we move to new map, does that mean the difficulty of all dungeons will skyrocket, since the bosses there are designed to be fought with socketed gear and will only have vanilla enchantments functioning? Well, to be honest, I've beaten Pit before with just vanilla stuff, but I don't like doing dungeons. Um, Technically, yes, it probably will mean that the difficulty of dungeons may be a little bit rough for a while, but the dungeon bosses themselves may have to be reworked as well, depending on the changes that are made that would affect them as well. So if you guys want Visor to stream Carnival, there better be some sort of prize at the end of it because I hate clowns, okay? Also, yeah, I don't really have time. But it's possible that the dungeons may be a little bit harder for a while. It all depends on what we're able to get functioning class-wise and replacement-wise for the socket gear system before the merge actually happens. Okay, I don't think I could win in under 20 deaths with vanilla gear, Jin, but like, you have my attention with that incentive. I will say that. Okay, question. Will we be able to make a silkweave bandage? As it stands right now, we can make the laughably weak bandages, and pretty much every dungeon can drop the heavy bandages, but we have no real source of the silkweave bandages, and the drop spots don't really drop many, if at all, at times. I'll be completely honest. I didn't know you couldn't craft the bandages, and I don't even know the spots that drop them. So, I'm gonna say it's definitely something we can look into, but I do not know all of the balancing that goes that went into the bandages and what could be crafted and what has to be found and all of that. So I cannot give a definitive answer, a yes or a no. But it's definitely something that can be looked into. If if they are supposed to be rare or harder to get, it might be something that if we make craftable would be fairly expensive. But um, yeah, it's definitely something we can look into and see what could be done. Question: will we be able to get zombie villager eggs to replace the villagers we are leaving behind in our villages? Details: I enjoyed making the bizarre village in Kane next to the ocean. I know lots of others have built their own villages. So, unfortunately, at this point in time, we probably are not going to be doing any sort of trade-in regarding villagers. Much like some people have unfortunately found out when villagers have like bugged out or things like that, we have to like if we have to like give you back a villager that's been broken, sometimes they don't really like roll back with their trade, so moving them is just like impossible, honestly. And you are going to be able to explore, find new villages, new sources of villagers. So at this point in time, we aren't intending to have replacements available for them. As Erica mentioned, there has previously been a trader that had zombie villager eggs in it. That might be something we might do in the future for like events, but simply for the map merge, it's at this point in time, I'm going to say unlikely. I don't like to say never unless I'm positive, but at this point in time, it's unlikely. Question: will there be updates to the Vox custom texture pack? I noticed that some textures are broken while using with Sfax. So there's actually a base and the patch that create the Vox custom textures. It was previously designed to go along with Sfax, but it has its own base now. Like, I think it would still go along somewhat with Sfax as well, because that was kind of the style, as well as, I mean, you can have the patch over other over other texture packs. I usually use just the patch over vanilla myself. Um, there are the latest update to the patch itself is actually pinned in the announcement channel. The base pack is also pinned there, and you need Optifine to use them as well. We do somewhat regularly update. If you know specific textures to be broken when using the patch and the base with just Minecraft, not like Sfax specifically, you can always ticket as a bug to let us know that something is broken. But if it's just an interaction with Sfax itself, I'm not positive if that's something we will be fixing, as we don't officially, like, we're not like officially running with Sfax specifically. So if a certain block is broken with Sfax, please check if it's broken with like just without Sfax, and if it's still broken, that's something we can definitely look at. And as Jin is saying in the voice text, the base doesn't mix well with Sfax. Only the patch mixes somewhat decently. I don't. I have never used Sfax because I just didn't like a lot of their looks of blocks. So
I'm gonna delete my boss last question because it's not box related.
yes, please remember to keep your questions actually Vox related. Um, this is not the appropriate forum to troll, and the meeting questions channel is not where you should be joking around. If you want to joke, that's fine, but do it in the voice chat, please.
Or an off topic.
Or off topic, yeah. 1 second, I'm taking a drink. Question: will towns/nations on new map run on voxels? Curious if it would be the same currency. I believe that is our intention. Voxels are our currency, so our main currency. So I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. I gotta burp. So yes, we would be using the same currency that we use now. So voxels. It's because I had soda. Okay. Question: could we create I'm assuming mass create potions? I keep finding loads of potions all over the place, lots of broken ones or at many resident plots. So, it's unlikely that we would be able to accommodate like uh all of like the potential like custom things, or because there's some custom potions that you can brew as well, or things that are broken. I'm not sure if we will do potions, but in theory we could. It would be more of a situation of like how we do the lava buckets though, where it'd be like 27 of each since they don't stack, as opposed to like a full like 8 stacks of something. Although potion, some like some things stack, and now my brain is trying to remember what it is that stacks. But I think I'm thinking of Dragon's Breath. But with potions themselves, it might be possible, but that is also a lot of different potions, and because I have the alchemist job, so I know exactly how many potions there are just in vanilla Minecraft, not even the custom ones. So it'd be a lot of work, and I just don't know if we will end up doing them. At the very least, if we do them later, it might not be in time for map merge. um because even just like say a strength potion, you've got strength 1 and strength 2, and then you've got the different times that you can have for them. You've got the splash potion variants. It ends up like 4 or 5 different variants per potion, so that's a lot of them. And then you'd have to make sure you match up the right one when you were selecting it too. I don't foresee it happening anytime soon. I'm not against the possibility because it would make storages easier just in general, but I don't think it would be something likely to happen before map merge. Question: what is the time frame we will have to move everything over to the new map? I would love to know how much time we have to move all our stuff over, so if I am preoccupied with IRL things, that I will still have a good window of time to move. So in the previous map merge, it was open for way longer than we are unfortunately going to be able to do. So what we are reasonably looking at is going to be a 3-month period. Which is necessitated both by the cost of running this many servers all at once. Like it's already cost a decent amount to run the various servers connected to Vox, Diamond, Gold, Emerald, and Redstone. Like running that many is quite expensive. Now we've added the new map onto it, so we can't have them open, unfortunately, indefinitely. But we want them open a decent amount of time. And 3 months is probably about what we're going to be able to do. I'd like to say it won't be any shorter than 3 months for sure. Because we do want people to have plenty of time, and we are going to be posting once it's open and once it's able to be done. We will be posting in all of our various sources: Reddit, Twitter. I will probably try to make sure we have like videos and things on the Twitch and the YouTube about it. Discord. We're going to try to post everywhere on every source that we possibly can to make sure that people who may have gone on hiatus for a while or have gone unresponsive for a while have a chance to come back and move their stuff. But if through all of those various methods, or if friends don't reach out to them or things like that, it just may not be possible for everyone to be able to move their things if they either don't come back to do it or aren't able to be reached. But we're going to do everything that we can to make sure people have plenty of time, but we are still just unfortunately going to be limited on what's actually possible. Oh, no. It would I can guarantee you it would not be short. It would not be as short as a week, because I don't even think I could move all of my stuff over in a week, like if I was on every day. But yeah, we would like it to be open for at least a few months. So, and I know that there are some people who may be disappointed that it's not longer than that, but it's just what we can reasonably do and manage and afford. Okay. Visor is going to take a 2-minute bathroom break. So we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back, and please type in meeting questions if you have any further questions. And we'll answer those when we come back. Okay, I'm back. There is nothing but bees in my vision.
I mean, bread.
And a zombie. What did y'all do? As long as y'all return the spot to what it's supposed to look like after the meeting.
They left you a sign.
Yeah, I saw it. And just to cover it because um, we've been asked a couple of times. Um, when we're ready to show off some more of like new VB and give you guys some spoilers, I do intend to do it as like a stream or a video so you guys can actually like see them. And not just in picture form. It's just we're not 100% ready to reveal a bunch of stuff yet. Um, Once we are, though, it's going to be fun. All right, so I see one more meeting question, so let's deal with that. So, just wanted to give everybody a chance to come back. Question: can mayors land claim their residents' homes in the wild who are inactive and not in townie protection? I know several residents have several homes not in town land, but we are only able to claim the stuff in townie land at the moment to move it to safety for them. So it actually very much depends on the situation. So when we said uh, in the actual document that outlines what you're able to legally like land claim right now via ticket, it says claimed area. It doesn't necessarily specifically mean only townie. So there are plenty of people who have towns that aren't under townie. If there is a reasonable establishment somewhere, like you have a town, but it's not townie because maybe you don't like the plugin or something like that, that does not preclude you from being able to still claim things within your land. It's just a little bit harder to check on, so it might take like a little bit longer to do a ticket and verify who owns the land and all of that. But it's more about not being in just like random wilderness, nowhere near any outposts or town borders type of thing from like an established town, whether it's townied or not. Um, like as an example, on Emerald, I do have a town, but like say it wasn't towny, but I have walls up along the whole town, so like you would know that this is like an established player area. But if it wasn't like townied, but say I had a friend's plot a couple of chunks away, that might still fall under the reasonable rules of expansion. If their build is 10,000 blocks away from me in the middle of wilderness and I don't have any like outposts or any other, things built there, then no, that's not going to be reasonable, unfortunately. So it really does depend situationally. If you are not sure, you can ticket the area in question and give us as much details as you can about the area. The worst thing that we're going to do is tell you no, honestly. And as long as you haven't broken any actual rules, like taken some of their stuff already or griefed them or anything like that, the worst thing we're going to do is say, no, you can't claim this. So I very much just, it does really depend situationally on where things are in relation to other buildings. So the best thing that I can tell you to do is just ticket and let us take a look and see what we can figure out. I do know that there are a number of people who are like active in their towns but don't use townie. So those people would also still be able to do like inactive land claims. But like I said, it just makes it a little. With townie, it usually gives us like the name of someone's claimed plot, so it's a little bit easier. Is really what it boils down to. So if they're like reasonably close to your town or an outpost or something like that, it may still fall under a reasonable land claim for us. the mm, the real what it boils down to is always like, if you're not sure, you can always ask. Pure and simple. Staff is here to help as long as you are not rude. um, then we usually don't have a problem. Usually you just tick it and we'll take a look into it. We don't bite unless you're mean. Or a baked potato. Or corn on the cob, which is sitting on my counter waiting for me.
Or a cookie.
Yes, if you are a cookie, that is a problem. But in all seriousness, we are here to help the server and to help the community. So if you ever have a problem or a question, you can always ask. Yeah. Are there any other questions anyone would like to ask? I see at least one person typing in the meeting questions. Please type your questions now. Because if we don't have more questions, I'm going to close it in a few minutes because it's been 2 hours. EJ. Well, we already said it last meeting. That's the thing.
There's one question now.
Yeah. Question. Will we have some form of music box event? Details. Just like with card creations, will we have any form of music boxes that people can make and that will get added into via a contest or something? Now, I don't hate that idea, like, at all. Like, I think it's a really interesting idea. The only issue that I really have with it is we do have someone who specifically does the music boxes for us. I'm not sure of all of the details of how they are made, like of how it goes into it, and I know that there are certain the songs themselves aren't like, they're not like the default normal song. It's like converted into the style that it is, but it's also, I don't really know how someone creating like a music box would really work, because like a card itself is like a creative thing, you know. I mean, not that the music box is, let me explain. The card itself is like, you're coming up with a creative concept, you're like drawing it out in whatever form you choose to do, and you're making this like original product, really. Whereas with the music box, it's usually kind of converting a song that already exists into the Minecraft format and just putting the box together. So to me, it's not really kind of like the same thing, and I think it would be really difficult to do unless someone was really into like creating custom music. Um, so like, while I don't hate the idea, I'm just not sure if it's feasible to do that. That said, if people have suggestions on music boxes to make, absolutely take them to the Reddit, because we love suggestions. And I mean, I love suggestions for different music boxes, because there are often times where I'm like, I wish we had a music box to like add something in. But then my brain just entirely blanks on what songs we could use. And we're still limited on what's available to be found that can be like converted and not sound awful in the appropriate style. But my brain, anytime I try to think of a song name, just goes absolutely blank, and said like, oh, what's a song about birds, as an example, and I suddenly can't think of anything. And there are a million songs about birds. So long and short, while I like the idea, I'm just not sure if it works for the same sort of thing as like a contest does. Something we could think about, but I'm just not positive it's feasible, really. We do have ideas on how we could do other contests besides like card contests, like moving forward, things that we might stream. So definitely could put it on the list of consideration and see what comes of it, but I'm just not positive anything will, so I'm not going to give you like a yes or no specifically. I said birds, Burb, because I'm literally looking at your name while I was talking. Now, see, item texture contest, I could get behind, and I will immediately declare the winner anybody who makes a texture for Heartbreaker, because I'm still salty my sword did not get a custom texture. But yeah, an item texture contest would definitely be interesting. Also, that said, if anybody has interest in like helping make creative content like item textures and things like that, you can always let us know. We've had a couple. I was kidding about the auto winner thing, Jin. Okay, but there have been a couple people who have like shared custom textures with us to allow us to use them on the server if that's ever something people are interested in. We always love to see that too. I'm gonna just do a. I think if anybody has, you have like 2 more minutes to pop a question to the meeting question channel, and then I'm gonna close it. Okay.
Oh wait, I already closed it.
Oh well, then they're closed already. Okay. If anybody had a last question, feel free to pop it in the voice text. I'll look at it. I'm just looking. Can we have a rideable goat that we can ram into people? I'm down for that later. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm down for that, so we'll see. I wish I could save people who are melting. I'm sorry. So, just a couple last minute things. Yes, for it. It's still Misha who does the boxes. So just a couple last minute things. I'm going to remind everybody, we have talked about a lot today. So I will remind everybody that the VOD will be up on the Twitch later. And I will be getting this video up on YouTube in a little while as well. Meeting notes will still be posted, so if someone is not good with like the verbal format, the meeting notes, once they are ready, will also be posted. Just going to reiterate, if you have any issues with your ranks, your races, emotes, titles, things like that, please feel free to ticket. We did talk a lot about different plugins today, and there were a couple that didn't come up that I would just like to talk about for a moment before we move on. So we did talk about how Sockets is going to be changing, unfortunate necessity. Townie is going to be shifting into a different plugin, but will still have a functional town system. Townie builds were mentioned, which we did discuss last meeting, that they are dead. Magic Find was brought up, which we also discussed last meeting, as is currently functionally dead. And, you know, this one people might be more mad at me about, but it's okay. You can feel your feelings. The 2 stable plugins that we have, and by stable I mean stabling, not that they're functional, wolves and horses. The plugins that allow you to stable horses into a virtual system, same thing with wolves, they are unfortunately going to also be left behind. They're dead. They're completely broken, and we can't, like, they function right now with what's going on, but they are not going to, basically, they're not going to convert well if if we even manage to get them to transfer over, it would likely be wiping them anyway. We have some other ideas for how to incorporate potentially similar ways, because we know wolves especially are used with bards and things like that. Um, so unfortunately, it's just not possible. Um, I know that there are people who had like the e-store horses. I'm not sure if we can offer some sort of compensation for them. I'm really not sure. If someone still had like a deed for it, we might be able to work out something, but we haven't discussed that at all and figured out what we might be able to do. Um, the pets are different from the horse stable plugin. Um, so this is the like the alpha wolves, not like your actual dogs, or not like slash Luna the pet, or so the pets are a completely different system than the horses in the wolf stables. Um, Also, marriage is dead. Not sure if it might make a comeback somewhere way later down the line with a different plugin that does the functions, but social the court plugin and the marriage plugin were tied very, like, they're in the same plugin, and so the plugin that necessitated us to remove court also manages marriage, and that plugin is entirely broken and non-functional. Um, but yeah, so we are going to try to come up with some sort of compensation. We just hadn't fully discussed it, so I don't have the details on what it will be for that with regards to the stables, and the e-store horses, because we know people spend real money on them. It may be similar to how we have, like, you can ticket for ancient res dust trade-ins with certain with the amounts that were available in the e-store. Um, it might be something that we can do. And I think there were a couple that were, yeah, Eric, that were available via the Vox boxes. So I'm just not positive what we're going to do about it yet, but that is possible. I saw a couple questions that I wanted to ask real quick. Will the wilderness command still work when we start on the new map? I believe it should, because obviously you're still going to have to teleport somewhere, and somehow to get to new spots to travel. Yeah, Jin confirms wilderness will work. um, and Four asked, you asked what plugins will actually survive the move. So several of our plugins are being like, they're being like rebalanced and edited. There's just some plugins that are unfortunately not able to be converted and to work, because it depends on what all they're tied into as well. And at the very like core of some of our plugins is not fun. We have like a very big like custom system that manages a lot of different plugins, and it itself does not work. And that therein lies the problem. So so on the map, on the home, you will on the map you will be able to set homes, but there'll be new homes because it's an entirely new map, just like how you have different home sets on Diamond versus Emerald, etc. Don't worry, it's not like I wouldn't teleport my town members to my town. All right, so there have been a lot of questions, and a lot of things are changing. We know that. I'm going to I'm going to reiterate sorry, words that it's perfectly okay to have feelings about stuff. It is perfectly okay to not be 100% like okay with some of the changes or need to take time to adjust to things. Um, and it's sorry, I got sidetracked by reading the voice text. So it is perfectly valid to have feelings, no matter what they are, positive, negative, etc. You are absolutely allowed to have your feelings, and as long as you remain respectful to everyone on to the server, keep family friendly. We're not going to like tell people that they can't talk about being upset about anything. So if you're upset, you can absolutely talk about it, but just please remember to still keep within our normal chat rules as well. But you don't have to just instantly love every little thing that's changing. I am realistic to the point to understand not everyone's going to love them. To be honest, there are a few things that I'm upset about that we have to change as well, but we have to change them. There unfortunately just isn't much of a choice. It's keep everything as it is, limping along and not moving forward and not being able to put anything new or anything beyond just fixing what's there or move forward. Um, but yeah, a lot of the things that's holding up any new content is that a lot of things are bugged so badly that we keep having to barely fix things. You guys saw how Easter was. Imagine that for every event moving forward, because we can't update anything because it doesn't function with the broken stuff, but we can't fix the broken stuff, and it's it's about moving forward and overall maintaining zombies' future vision for the servers themselves does necessitate making some changes. I can't guarantee that we're making every little change exactly as he would have, because none of us are him. But we are moving forward with the spirit of what he wanted, of what we know that he wanted, and the things that he wanted to change. Um, and that's all I can really say about it, is that we are all doing the best that we can to keep everything moving forward, to look for a future, because we're all here because we want Vox to have a future. Um, I still have a couple minutes. I'm just going over overview and stuff, but yeah, if you have a question, you can always DM a staff member later as well. There's always next month, or you can just ask, and you know. Um, and there will also be the VOD available later for anybody who missed the actual questions and want to hear the discussion. So yeah, there's a lot of changes coming. We realize not everyone's going to love everything, but it is necessary. And we're going to do our best to keep informing you when we have enough details of when things are changing and how. And I hope that you guys continue to have patience with us. And I am so appreciative of everyone who has stuck around and is here as part of our community. So I think it's time to end this because my throat hurts. So thank you
been
guys.
a good minute.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. A reminder that if you are interested in any sort of staff position, please feel free to apply on the Reddit. You can apply for more than one role at a time. We just will likely not bring you, we would not bring you on for more than one role at a time. So if you feel there's more than one job that you're interested in, don't hesitate to apply for both. Please also remember that you can post any suggestions or ideas to the Reddit, whether it's for something as small as, you know, a Voxbox toy or and you have an idea for an entire rework of something. You know, hit us with your suggestions. We love to hear them and we love to see them. The meeting notes should be posted within the next couple of days, hopefully, as alongside the video. Which will be up on the YouTube. The VOD should be available on the Twitch within the next couple of hours, but that only lasts for about 2 weeks. So feel free to follow us on the Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Vox Populi Media, if you want to check out any other future content we may do, which will include meetings as well as possible other content. And last month's community meeting is already listed up on our YouTube. But as always, we love hearing from you guys in any way, shape, or form. So don't be afraid to ask questions or share ideas or anything to be part of this community. We love it all. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. And I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Jordy says goodbye.
Take care.
Take care, and don't forget to take care of yourselves. And that was just a fabulous way to end the stream, so good night, guys.